Hey guys, so although Captain Marvel is about 3 years away at best, a huge rumor has dropped for the movie. Supposedly, Silver Surfer is going to make his MCU debut in Captain Marvel 2, and if you guys have been watching this channel, you know that I am so excited for the Silver Surfer to make his first appearance in the MCU. I've been waiting for this, and now I've heard things as far as that he was just going to have a cameo appearance in the movie, and I've also heard the opposite, that he was going to be the main antagonist of the movie. And obviously with the Silver Surfer, also there must be Galactus, and that's gonna be awesome as well, and I can't wait to see Galactus too, whether he just has a cameo or he's referenced, but he should be the overall big bad. And if you guys saw my Captain Marvel review, you know that I didn't think the movie was outstanding. I thought it was just fine. A lot of people disliked it, and a lot of people actually enjoyed it, which is awesome. That's good for you if you did enjoy it, but I gave it a fluctuating 6.5 to 7.5, and the reason being is that I wish they would have made Carol a bit more vulnerable. If they would have made her, you know, more human, if they would have made her struggle a little bit more, I could have sympathized with her. And if they would have just kept it with Norinn Radd being the villain, they should not have included Norinn. And if they would have made Norinn Radd more menacing and more mentally manipulative over Carol, that would be way more payoff at the end when she kind of overcomes everything that he's been saying and telling her. And after seeing that movie and now hearing that the Silver Surfer is going to be in the movie, that's the perfect way to get asses in seats. That's the perfect way to get people who didn't like the movie to come back just to see the Silver Surfer and possibly Galactus. So far, Thanos is the only one who has given her any kind of physical or combative contest. I mean, even then, he had to use the Power Stone to finally take her out, and now supposedly the Power Stone is destroyed, so it would seem like there's really no chance for anybody else to contest her in the future and moving forward. But I don't believe the Power Stone or the Infinity Stones are actually destroyed. I heard something about that. Remember, reduced to atoms. Think about that, quantum realm. But I'll get into that in another video. So yeah, it would seem like Carol really doesn't have any contest in the future, but that is where the beauty in bringing in the Silver Surfer lies. Carol is exceedingly, extraordinarily powerful, but the Silver Surfer is an absolute powerhouse. He was imbued with the power cosmic by Galactus, who should be making an appearance, maybe even a cameo, hopefully. I'll take a post-credit scene, if anything. I just can't wait to see him in the MCU. I just wanted to say that. And also, 100%, he will not be a fucking cloud. So with the power cosmic, the Silver Surfer can travel at speeds faster than light. He can at will change his size and strength. He also has energy manipulation and absorption. And if you've seen Captain Marvel in Endgame or in her own movie, then you know that she's all about that energy. So I can definitely see the Silver Surfer absolutely mopping the floor with her, and this would be great for Captain Marvel's character. Now that she's met somebody that she can't just photon blast away, she has to be more resourceful. So I'd like to propose this thing I call the Silver Savage theory for the Captain Marvel sequel that I have, which honestly does have some plot holes, and I'll go into that, but it's honestly what I'd like to see and what I think would be cool to see and what I'd like to see go down and play out, and I'll explain why and get into the holes of it as well. So I picture Captain Marvel off-world or unavailable, as we know from the Spider-Man Far From Home trailer, and maybe she is on the Skrull homeworld or their new homeworld that they've had 20 years to, I guess, expand upon. Carol's always talking about helping other planets, and she's probably looking after the Skrull planet still, and maybe this is when the Silver Surfer enters the picture and he's chosen the Skrull world for Galactus's next meal, and maybe even possibly the Skrull know about him and they tell Carol about it, or maybe even not. But Carol, obviously in her overconfident nature, confronts him. They have a race in space, a cosmic battle throughout space. They go through star systems. They travel and fight at the speed of light. I think that would be a really cool sequence, and obviously the Silver Surfer would piece her up, and maybe he's about to, you know, kind of almost devastate her and knock her out, but they actually go through a wormhole. Now, I don't know about you guys, but after seeing Thor Ragnarok, I really want to explore more of Sakaar, and I remember specifically when Captain Marvel came out that the directors or the people that worked on the movie mentioned that the alternate post-credits scene that they were going to show was of Norinn Radd when Carol sends him off back to the Kree Empire at the end of the movie, and that ship was actually supposed to crash land on Sakaar. And I believe the reason why they didn't just kill him off is that so he could potentially come back. And honestly, this is kind of where a hole actually lies in my theory. I mean, that was 20 years ago, but kind of kinda the way I'm getting around it is, well, wormholes work differently with time, and so does Sakaar. I mean, the Grandmaster says something about that time works differently on Sakaar, and Loki exited the Bifrost, moments before Thor actually did, and he ended up in Sakaar, I believe, like 2 weeks before Thor actually eventually crash landed there. So maybe the Silver Surfer and Captain Marvel hit a wormhole at 2 different points, and they crash land, and when they crash land, they get hit with obedience discs, which in the MCU has subdued the God of Thunder, Thor, and in the comics, in the Planet Hulk run, it even subdued the Silver Surfer for a time. So I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that this could tame Carol, of course. So this would be a way to depower Captain Marvel, to make her a little bit more vulnerable, and this would then cause Carol to fight her way through the gladiatorial arena, eventually leading up to a fight with the Silver Surfer, and maybe they're in the Champions quarters and they talk, and she tries to get him to call off Galactus from the Skrull world because she's trying to save that, and maybe Jan Rog has actually gained the Grandmaster's favor, and he actually gets a hold of one of those obedience disc remote controls, and he uses that to torment Carol and just torture her for certain times. Maybe after a win in the gladiatorial arena, he confronts her and he puts that thing on high just to torment her and to knock her down, which would ultimately end up with her fighting the Silver Surfer or the Silver Savage. Now, the Silver Surfer, another reason why I think this would be cool is because in the Planet Hulk storyline, Silver Surfer is actually called the Silver Savage, and he has like this armor and he has like a mace, and he just looks super badass, and this is a way to give the Silver Surfer a different look, because the Silver Surfer, not like he needs costumes or costume change, but this is just a way to kind of change it up and give the Silver Surfer a comic look, which I think a lot of people would appreciate, namely me, because for the rest of the movies, or for the remainder of the time that he's in the MCU, he's probably just gonna be all chrome, naked dude, just flying around on a surfboard. And maybe when she faces him in the final battle, she uses her humanity, tells him about the people that she has and cares for on Earth and on that Skrull world as well, and maybe this is what she uses to elicit his humanity, which is a big thing with the Silver Surfer. The whole reason he became the Herald of Galactus was to protect his world from being devoured, to protect his people, to protect his love, Shalabal. I want to see Carol be vulnerable, be human. Yes, she is extremely, extraordinarily powerful, but she's also a human, and she should be able to draw from that as well, and use that humanity to elicit the Silver Surfer's humanity, to elicit Norinn Radd's humanity, which I think would be awesome for both characters, but specifically Captain Marvel. And maybe he actually draws Galactus instead of to the Skrull homeworld, to Sakaar, which in the comics, I believe Silver Surfer actually goes to Sakaar and draws Galactus there, because supposedly Sakaar has this thing called old power, and it's basically a more satiating planet than any other planet with this old power. All the other planets, they're meh, they're, whatever, just a regular meal, but Sakaar is like a steakhouse. That's what it basically is. So if he can satiate Galactus's hunger, that means that less worlds will die and everybody wins. So maybe the ending, Carol and the Surfer help to evacuate innocent Sakaarians, and maybe the Grandmaster and Jan Rog are trying to stop them at the end, but it ends up that Galactus does devour that planet. Carol and Silver Surfer form a kind of friendship. Carol at the end ends up saving the homeworld of the Skrulls, or maybe even possibly a post-credit scene. We get to see the Silver Surfer and Galactus, and maybe Galactus has a taste now for planets with old power, and maybe it just so happens that the next planet with old power is Earth. Maybe Carol didn't mention that she was from Earth, maybe she did. I think it would be kind of cool even if she didn't mention it, she was just mentioning the Skrulls and that she cared about certain people there. And what if the Silver Surfer is out looking for old power planets and he comes across one and it's Earth and he doesn't even know that Carol's from there? The Silver Surfer calls Galactus to Earth. I think that would be sick as well, and that could possibly set up the big bad for Avengers 5, and that could be how the Silver Surfer gets to Earth and actually interacts with the Avengers, which I would want to see more than anything. I want to see Spider-Man on that surfboard. Maybe the Silver Surfer can heal the Hulk. I just see infinite possibilities with the Silver Surfer coming to Earth and the Silver Surfer being interjected into Captain Marvel 2. I mean, if you want to get asses in seats, especially after the first movie, then the Silver Surfer is just the best thing, because people that didn't like the first movie will hear that the Silver Surfer is in the movie. They'll also know that if the Silver Surfer is there, then Galactus is not far away, and they'll come to see that. So obviously some of the other holes is basically, even though Marvel Studios has a formula, this would be, a little too close to Thor Ragnarok. I would like to see, something new, something different, and granted this would be different. I think it might fall in line too similar to Thor Ragnarok, but that's pretty much my theory of how it would go down. So that's pretty much it, guys. If you agree with my theory or disagree, let me know in the comments, and let me know your theories and speculations for Captain Marvel 2 and how you'd actually want to see that go down and how you'd want to see the Silver Surfer actually make his debut in the MCU. Are you for or against him being in Captain Marvel? Do you think it's a smart idea? I want to know all your guys' thoughts. Leave me theories, whatever you want. If you like the video, leave me a thumbs up, comment down below, and if you want, subscribe. I always appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.